What is up, everyone? Dr. Nick here. Welcome back to the final installment of the Thyroid Tips series. This has been really fun. It's been really fun to create. It's been really fun to re-explore this, to re-unpack the thyroid and re-go through different aspects of its physiology and its function and impact how you can all use this to improve your quality of life and bring more joy and ease into your life. And this last tip for me is probably my favorite because the one to me that is most empowering to us as individuals, and that's learning to heal yourself. And that's essentially what we've been going through this whole time, is trying to give you tips and tricks, strategies and tactics to help improve your thyroid function on your own. But from my experience in working with people going through similar health journeys over the past 2 years of my practice, I've really realized that it is the underneath mindset work, the work that's really, really hard to do and is a lot easier said than done, that is the most fruitful work that can be done. It's the piece a lot of times that people are missing because it's so hard and it's something that so few of us really try and pursue. We keep spinning our wheels with nutrition and diet and supplements and sleep things and wondering why don't I feel the way I feel like I should? And that, as we've talked about in the past on the series, has to do with a limbic system or a nervous system that's stuck in fight or flight, which contributes to our subconscious mind, preventing us from really getting to that level of healing that we truly want and that we're truly capable of. So, in this final installment of the 10 Tips to Heal Your Thyroid series, we're going to talk about how to heal yourself. And it's going to be a bit of a rebroadcast from an interview I did about a year ago with Chelsea Haines, who's a gut health and mindset coach. And she had a beautiful little segment in our interview about how you can use mindset and how really that is the missing piece a lot of times to the full health that a lot of us want, even though we want to do all the sexy supplements and detoxes and cleanses and lab stuff. It is the nitty gritty mindset stuff that, like I said, can be the most fruitful for us long term. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And this is also a bittersweet moment for me because I have an announcement. I'm going to be taking a bit of a break from Gut Check Radio for the next couple months. I'm reaching a different season in life here with my practice here locally in Phoenix, Arizona, and I just feel called to devote time to other areas at this time for the next couple of months. And I really just want to use this time to say thank you. Thank you all for you out there listening. If you've liked the video, if you've commented on it, if you've left me a rating on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, if you've listened to even a second of me rambling over the last year and a half to almost 2 years, I really do appreciate it. And without you, I really wouldn't be doing this. And the only reason I continue to do this is to provide support and value to you out there listening. So from really the deepest depths of my heart, I want to say thank you for allowing me this platform. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to instill some information and hopefully a laugh here or two, or some joy and ease and wisdom into your life. And I will be coming back. This isn't goodbye forever. It is just a brief break to help recalibrate and shifting seasons and shifting time domains. And I promise you, we will come back with Gut Check Radio with bigger, better, and even more valuetainment. I know I'm stealing that from Patrick Bet-David's podcast, Valuetainment. But anyways, again, thank you all so much. And without further ado, let's get into my final video for the next couple months of the conclusion of Thyroid Health Tip 10, How to Heal Yourself. Welcome to Gut Check Radio, the holistic health podcast where we explore the uniqueness of the human experience to help you navigate your health journey. I'm Nick Belden, a chiropractic physician and functional medicine practitioner. And you all know what's coming next, but the information provided in this podcast is for educational entertainment purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, cure, or treat any disease, and do not apply any of the information here without first speaking with your physician.
Now here we are functionally, foundationally understanding and knowing that, yes, the nutrition, the gut health piece is step one. But in order to really see the needle move for myself and all of my clients, we can't forget where I actually started, and that was with the mind and the soul, and specifically the subconscious mind. So this is why at the Gut Health Agency, we combine it all with trauma-informed practices and embodiment practices like breath work to really help recalibrate physically the nervous system to understand, oh, wow, this is what, kind of like the yoga mat as well, right? We put ourselves into uncomfortable situations and explore what that feels like, and we dance on the edge so we can eventually move the needle to get more open and to explore more depth without being so afraid to just dive into the mud in the first place. And I love that you use
Mm.
the word mud and analogy there, because I always say, as your coaches, you're in the mud and we're
Yep.
going to get in the mud with you. We're not going to
Mhm.
pull you out of the mud. We're not even going to give you a ladder. We're going to give you the pieces of the ladder for you to build yourself. So that way you always know how to build the ladder to get yourself out of the mud in the future. It's like, if we pull you out prematurely, it's your subconscious brain is going to go, what the heck? This is way too much change, way too fast. We're going to revert back to everything that we always did before. And this is why 98% of diets don't work, and why you gain
Yeah.
weight back after going on these extreme diets, because you've pulled yourself a little too fast out of the mud and now you're way back in it.
Yeah, and you're bringing your nervous system back to the state of fear and restriction and scarcity and not.
Ugh.
Yeah. Is that frustrating for you then too? Because if you know that the subconscious healing and the emotional root causes are where the real crux of the matter lies, does that then frustrate you to go, okay, maybe we do have to manipulate some dysbiosis, some SIBO, some blastocystis, some XYZ parasitic thing? Does it ever be like, I want to get to the meaty stuff?
You know, yes and no, because it's kind of like, I think the frustrating part about it is, I'm going to say it here because I'm just being vulnerable. What's frustrating for me is seeing somebody who will benefit more from the mindset stuff, but is so stuck on wanting the supplements first.
Upvote.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Now, my job is to meet you where you're at.
Right. Yep.
So we're going to check that off your list. And especially for my high performers who are like, come to me being like, this is what I want to do. And it's like, okay, we're going to like do the first two, but then you're going to do it our way. And if you're not willing to do it our way, then we're going to hit pause on this for now. And maybe we'll come back to it when you're ready to be in a beginner's mindset. Right. And I say that because I was there.
Yep.
Right. I've always been, and it worked to my benefit for a while, but the road was long and it was a hard time to figure out. Right. I would go to my doctor saying, this is what I want. Now that's different than advocating for yourself, right? This is, oh, I saw this commercial and this is what I want, versus I'm willing to learn something new. I've done all the things. I've tried all the diets. I've done all the supplements. I've even done all the testing and I'm still sick. Are you willing to do it differently? And that is the hardest part about it, because we're so, again, wired to believe that we're sick, that we're broken, that we're an enigma, that there's nothing we can do to fix it. I've tried all the things. I have all this proof that I'm still broken. Are you going to be the one to fix me? My answer is always, hell no, honey. You're going to be the one to fix you.
Yep.
But I'm going to hold the menu of options open for you to explore. And the only thing I'm requesting is for you to be interested in exploring something new. So is it frustrating for me? No, because that was also me.
Yeah.
At the same time, simultaneously, when I see people suffering unnecessarily, yeah, of course that's frustrating, because it's like, And at the same time, there's nothing more rewarding than when someone comes to me, Nick, and says, man, I have been chronically constipated my entire life. I am so in pain. I've eliminated all these foods. And in just a couple short weeks, they start saying, Chelsea, I'm having daily bowel movements. I'm not bloated anymore because of the functional tests and supplements and foods and lifestyles that we are exploring to see it work. It works when you're willing to let it work, right? Then there's nothing more satisfying than that. And to see my clients feel and physically show this sense of relief. I have answers and it's working. And this was way more about my own resistances to healing than I ever thought that it was. I mean, there's nothing more rewarding than seeing that.
Yeah. And if you feel like that was you all along that you were helping out, do you remember a particular phrase or something someone said to you that really made you think, oh, wow, maybe I should think differently about what's going on? Yeah.
It was, well, and I think I've always had this deep belief that my body wasn't working against me, in regards to autoimmune disease. And I did see, and actually I've personally have taken her program, Mind Body Rewire. Jenny, I'm sorry, I can't remember your last name right now. I think she posted something on Instagram and it was something so simple as that, like your body is working for you, not against you. And it was just, even though I had this belief for so long, it's kind of similar to what you said, the post that I was like, I've been preaching these things for years, but to see somebody else say it too, who didn't know me, who had never seen my content. It's almost like I feel like I've been saying these things for all these years, and then to see somebody else say something, and that maybe I don't know the exact phrase that it was, but it was something along the lines of that, like, your body is working for you. It's like that validation, like, yes, okay, I'm not just like this crazy person over here, like preaching to deaf ears.
Right.
It's like there's something to this deep gut instinct that I've had for all this time, and exploring that, playing with that, getting malleable with what that looks like, and really digging into my own subconscious patterns and my own limiting beliefs of, well, what is keeping me stuck then? What is keeping these biological systems firing when they don't need to fire anymore? Like, we are safe. We're good.
I wonder why because if that's the response people want, and that if the validation a lot of times is just as healing, I wonder what it is about a lot of healthcare and either side, allopathic or natural, that can even be dismissive of, like, I wonder what in them is leading to that.
I would think a deep scarcity mindset, right? It's even, I was even just talking about this with someone this morning, with the Orpheus Academy is who the tools that I use for subconscious rewiring. And we're trying to onboard more practitioners into this practice because it is so potent. And the question was, why do people feel like they are cannibalizing their own practice by, which I loved that word that he used. It wasn't my word. Do practitioners feel like they're cannibalizing their own practice by encouraging other people to become certified? Which is kind of like what you're saying here. It's like, if we're teaching people that they can heal themselves, well, then what do we miss out on? Money, power, white coats, the people who are the quote unquote go-to people for people, for everybody else to feel better. It starts to eliminate the need for this entire ecosystem of healthcare.
Yeah. It's a large question.
That, I mean, that's a dangerous place. And the people at the top would probably say, "Oh, no, we're canceling you because you can't teach people that they can heal themselves." But ultimately, I believe and hope that that's the way people are going. And I think that's probably at the root of why would somebody want to have a different narrative other than you have the power to heal yourself and your body's not working for you? Well, that's because they're selling something that wants to be the answer to your problems.
Right. And I almost hope if they're selling that they hope that works. I hope it's not them misguiding people just because they know it fulfills their bias. And then they actually believe, like, if they believe in that, beliefs are hard to unscaffold.
Nick, that is the conundrum, right? And it's like healthcare doctors are wonderful. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else besides an ER if I was in an accident or in an emergent situation. But when it comes to chronic illness, it's obvious that both allopathic, Eastern and Western medicine, that just Eastern maybe a little bit, but it's all symptom management. Like we can just slap that right on it, because that's even what they disclaim. This is going to manage your symptoms, and it also might give you liver failure.
A or
like
B,
they say it's disclaimed on the commercials. But the belief behind it, right? It's like anyone who's doing anything, there's always a good intention. And this is actually a beautiful, it's a coaching session that I do with my clients. Oh, well, when I was young, I heard my mother say these things to me, and I perceived them as really harsh. But at the time, in the coaching that we do is, well, what might have been the good intention that your mother had when she told you to not finish your dessert? Well, I think she wanted me to have a healthy, happy life. And I think in her mind, if I didn't eat too much dessert, or if I exercised, then I would be beautiful enough, I'd be worthy enough to have a spouse. And for her, that's what a successful life meant. So, but for the mom, she didn't believe she was doing anything wrong. She truly believed that restricting dessert was the way to health and happiness and success, right? That for sure, that was her beliefs, 100%. So I agree with you, Nick. I think the people who are, all of us, me too. I mean, this is why I'm always willing to call my own bullshit out, listen, if you got something else for me, show it to me. And this is why I have coaches. This is why I have mentors, you know, like, what am I not seeing here? And, you know, I think all of us have a little bit of that fear that we might be doing something that's harming people. And listen, I don't know about you, but when I see someone come out and say, after years and years and years of promoting, say, intermittent fasting for women, and then they come out years later and say, oh, actually, studies are showing us that that's not the best thing to do for our woman and our hormones. And I'm sorry I promoted it for all these years, but I've learned better. I mean, that's really what it's all about. Now, it takes a certain kind of person to be able to say, I stood behind this for all these years. I really believed it was the answers to all of our problems. And in hindsight, it might have been causing more problems. Please forgive me. We're moving on. You know, that takes a certain kind of person. But I think that's really the level of humility that as healthcare providers is really important to have.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you care to see me ramble any more than you already did today. And for more free content and guides, you can check out my clinic website at www.hivenaturalhealth, all one word, /free-resources. And until next time, my friends, trust in your gut.